Welcome back to Fortune Flow. I'm Sage, and tonight we're talking about the rarest master number, the one that sees impossibly big, the Master Builder. 22. Think about the person with the biggest vision you know, not a dreamer, a visionary, the one who sees systems no one else sees, who understands how to build things that will last for generations, who could change the entire world if they actually executed what they see. They're brilliant, strategic, capable of building empires that reshape reality. Now ask yourself this: have they built it? Or are they paralyzed by the sheer magnitude of what they're capable of, frozen by the gap between the vision and where they are now? Overwhelmed by how much work it would take to turn what they see into what actually exists? If the answer is yes, they're a master number 22. And this video is going to explain why the most powerful manifestation number in numerology is the one most likely to do nothing. Because master number 22 is the master builder. 2 twos, double the vision, double the power to manifest, double the ability to turn dreams into physical reality. But here's the tragedy: the 22 sees so big, so clearly, so far into the future that they're paralyzed by the enormity of their own blueprint. They don't lack vision, they're drowning in it. And they don't know where to start. Master number 22 is the second master number, where 11 is the spiritual messenger, 22 is the master builder, and where 33 is the master teacher, 22 is the one who takes spiritual vision and makes it physical. 22 is made of 2 twos. The 2 is about partnership, balance, cooperation. But double it? That's not just cooperation. That's the ability to coordinate massive systems, to see how everything connects. To build something so big, it requires hundreds, thousands of people working in harmony. The 22 doesn't just have ideas, they have blueprints. They don't just dream. They see the exact steps required to turn the dream into reality. They understand logistics, systems, infrastructure. They are architects of the impossible. And when a master number 22 is in their power, they build things that outlast them. Movements, organizations, systems that change how humanity operates. They are proof that vision, when grounded in practical execution, can reshape reality. But here's what almost no one tells the master number 22. The blueprint you're carrying is too big for you to build alone. And you know that, which is why you haven't started. Because starting means admitting you need help. And needing help means admitting the vision is bigger than you. And that feels terrifying. So you don't start. You plan, you refine, you wait for the perfect moment, the perfect team, the perfect resources, and nothing gets built. That is the shadow of the 22. The master builder who never builds. The visionary paralyzed by their own vision. The master number 22 soul came into this world to build, not small things, not personal projects, but massive world-changing structures that serve humanity for generations. 22 SC systems. Where others see chaos, the 22 sees the pattern. Where others see impossibility, the 22 sees the blueprint. They understand how things connect, how to coordinate, how to build something sustainable. They have an extraordinary ability to manifest, not through magic, through practical, strategic execution. They see the vision and the steps, the dream and the logistics. 22s are also deeply pragmatic. They're not just dreamers, they're builders. They understand money, resources, people, systems. They know what it actually takes to turn vision into reality. And when a master number 22 is in their power, they are the ones who build the schools, the organizations, the movements, the systems that change everything. They don't just impact individuals, they transform collective reality. But here is what destroys the master number 22. The vision is so big, they don't know where to start. Let me say that differently. The 22 sees the entire blueprint, the finished product, the empire fully built, the movement at scale, the system operating perfectly. And then they look at where they are now, and the gap is crushing. So they freeze, they plan more, they refine the vision. They wait for the perfect conditions, the perfect team, the perfect moment. This is the 22's deepest wound, perfectionism disguised as strategy, paralysis disguised as preparation. Because here's the truth, the vision the 22 is carrying is too big for them to build alone. It requires other people. It requires starting before it's ready. It requires building imperfectly. But the 22 resists all of that because accepting help feels like admitting weakness. Starting imperfectly feels like failure, and building something messy feels like betraying the vision. Here's what that looks like. The 22 has a vision for a school that could change education, but they won't start until they have full funding, the perfect team, the ideal location. So it never starts. The 22 sees a business model that could transform an industry. But they spend years perfecting the plan, refining the strategy, waiting for conditions to align. And someone else builds it first. The 22 knows exactly what the world needs. But they won't take the first step because the first step is too small compared to the vision. So nothing moves. That is the shadow of the 22, the master builder who never builds, the visionary frozen by the magnitude of what they see. If you're a master number 22, tell me if this sounds familiar. You see impossibly big, not just ideas, complete systems. You understand exactly how to build something massive, and it overwhelms you because you know how much work it would take. You're a chronic planner. You have notebooks full of strategies, detailed blueprints, perfect visions, but nothing's been executed because you're waiting for the right moment, the right resources, the right team. You struggle to start small because small feels insignificant compared to what you see. Why start a workshop when you see the Global Training Institute? Why write a blog when you see the publishing empire? You resist asking for help because the vision is yours. And bringing other people in means compromising, diluting, losing control of the blueprint. And here's the hardest part. You're exhausted by your own potential because everywhere you look, you see what could be built, what should exist, what the world needs, and you feel responsible for all of it. But you can't build all of it, so you build nothing. That is the pattern of the 22. Vision without execution, blueprint without building, potential that stays potential. So here's what I need you to hear, Master number 22. Start messy. Build imperfect. Ask for help. I know that sounds wrong. Because you see the complete vision. You know how it should be built. You understand the blueprint. But here's the truth. The vision will never be built the way you see it. It will be built through iteration, through collaboration, through imperfect action. The world needs what you see. It needs the systems, the structures, the massive world-changing projects you're carrying. But the world doesn't need the perfect version. It needs version 1.0, messy, imperfect, started. Here's the shift. Stop trying to build the empire. Build the first brick. You don't need the perfect team. You need one person who believes in the vision. You don't need full funding. You need enough to take the first step. You don't need everything aligned. You need to start building and let the vision refine itself through action. The most powerful thing a master number 22 can do is stop planning and lay the first brick, even if it's imperfect, even if it's small, even if it's just the beginning of something that will take decades to complete. Because that's how empires are built, one brick at a time, by people willing to start before they're ready. Now, if you're thinking, this just sounds like analysis paralysis, that's not numerology. That's perfectionism and fear of failure. You're not entirely wrong. The profile of the master number 22 does overlap with what psychologists call strategic avoidance or perfectionism as procrastination. But here's what makes the 22 unique. They're not avoiding because they're afraid to fail. They're avoiding because the vision is so big, they can't reconcile starting small. The gap between what they see and what's currently possible feels like betrayal of the vision. The 22's paralysis isn't fear-based in the traditional sense, it's vision-based. They're paralyzed by the clarity of what they see and the enormity of what it requires. That's not dysfunction. That's the 22's sacred gift, the ability to see complete systems without the permission to build them imperfectly. The challenge for the 22 is learning that messy action builds more than perfect planning. That version 1.0 is better than version never. So here's the question I want to leave you with, Master number 22. What's one brick you could lay today? Not the whole empire, not the complete system, not the perfect version. One brick, one email, one conversation, and one small step toward the massive thing you see. Because you are a master number 22. You came here to build things that change the world, to create systems that serve humanity for generations. But you cannot build any of it if you don't start. The world needs what you see, but it needs you to stop waiting for perfect conditions and start building with what you have. Messy is better than nothing. Imperfect action is better than perfect planning. Lay the first brick, even if it's small, even if it's imperfect, even if it's just the beginning, because that's how empires are built. If you're a master number 22, drop 22 in the comments and tell me, what's one brick you could lay today? I read every comment, and I want to see you build. If this resonated, share it with the visionary in your life. The one with massive plans who hasn't started. The master builder who's paralyzed by their own blueprint. They need permission to start messy. Next, in this master number series, master number 33, the master teacher, the rarest and most intense. If you're a 33, this is going to change everything. I am Sage. Stay blessed, stay aligned, start building peace and light.